just because of the flap of a butterfly's wings in the Amazon rainforest. A storm occurred in Texas. This is a metaphor to describe how a small change can impact other things or events on a much larger scale. This metaphor is famously known as the butterfly effect. But is this accurate? How can such a gentle flap cause such a large impact? Everyone is probably familiar with the dropping of atomic bombs on the two cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan during World War II. At 10:30 am on August 9, 1945, a boy named Kenji Yoshio, living in the city of Kokura, looked up at the sky when he heard the roar of bomber engines. However, Kenji saw nothing because the sky over the city was covered in clouds. Then, the sound of the engines faded away without a single bomb falling. This cloud was the most miraculous thing that ever happened to the 130,000 residents of Kokura, because that sound was not from ordinary bombers. In fact, it came from a B-29 bomber carrying the atomic bomb Little Boy. Because this cloud obscured the view, the U.S. military changed its target from Kokura to Nagasaki, and what happened afterward became history. So if that cloud hadn't existed on that day, what terrible fate would the 130,000 residents of Kokura have faced? And how drastically would our history have changed? How many people would have thought that just an innocent cloud drifting in the sky could affect the history of billions of people? Or think about another story of a girl who had a date with a boy she had just met. The date was set for 3 p.m. on a Sunday. At 2:50 p.m., the girl arrived. The clock struck 3, then 3:05, and 3:10. Although the boy had not yet arrived, the girl decided to keep waiting. 5 minutes later, the boy appeared, apologizing profusely for being late. Nearly 30 years later, their son created Explain Nation. Those 15 minutes of waiting back then were just as simple as a butterfly's wing flap in the aforementioned metaphor. But those 15 minutes changed not only their lives, but also affected many other things and events. For example, if the girl had not waited those extra 15 minutes, this channel might never have existed, and perhaps right now you would be watching a different video. This world is like a calm, flat lake, and everything we have done, are doing, and will do can be likened to drops of water falling into it. Even small drops of water have created significant changes on this calm, flat lake. Therefore, never think that what you do is unimportant or meaningless, because even a small action can impact thousands of people living around you. And remember, only you can decide whether these impacts are good or bad.